Hi 803, it's Miss English. I just wanted to give you an overview of the back of the sheet that we did today. So this grade will take the place of the grade that you got today. If you got 100, you need to finish it to keep your 100. If you got something less than that, this is how you can bring your grade up to 100. The learning objective for today is to create and solve a system of equations based on a word problem. And this word problem is not too bad. So I'll read it out loud. I know it's hard to read. Suppose you want to start taking aerobics class. That's like an exercise class. Non-members pay $4 a class, while members pay $10 to join and then $2 per class. This is like a cell plan. It's the basic idea. So in these particular worksheets, you'll see they try to break everything down for you. C is the variable we're using for classes. The T of C is just the total class cost based on the number of classes that you take. So the two equations that you come up with are the member total cost is your membership fee, which is $10, plus 2 times every class that you take. The non-member total cost is $0. You're not paying anything to start off, but you pay $4 per class. So following down this sheet, let's do the total cost. In this particular case, this is for a member. The slope is 2. That's just the coefficient of C. And the vertical axis, you know, is going to be 10. For the non-member, you are going to pay, the slope is, again, the coefficient of C. The slope is 4. And the vertical axis, remember, if there's nothing here, you just put that imaginary plus 0. So the vertical axis is 0. So we know it's going to go right through the origin. But let's do the first equation first. Remember, step 1 is always to find the vertical axis. So these go up by 2, not by 1. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I put my first point on the 10. That's my vertical axis intercept. And my slope is 2. So if it's 2, remember, it's actually 2 over 1. So from 10, I'm going to rise 2, which is 12, and I'm going to go over 1 here. I rise 2, I go over 1. I rise 2, I go over 1. Rise 2, go over 1. This is getting pretty repetitive. So I will take my straight edge. And don't worry, this is not a credit card that you can use. And I will make my line right here. And remember, this is a line that goes off forever and ever. So your line should look something like that. Again, perfectly straight with a y-intercept. I'm going to change pen colors to red. I hope this works out. So my first point is 0, because when C is 0, 4 times 0 is 0. So I have my first point right here at my intercept. Now in this case, my slope is 4. So remember, that is 4 over 1. So I start at 0, I go up 2, 4, and over 1. 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 And bingo, that looks like that's going to be my solution point. So once again, I get my straight edge out. I make sure that I cover all the points, and I make a beautifully straight line right there through origin. Pretty straight. Remember that your solution to a system is always where these two things intersect. So it appears to be right here, and if I did my graphing correctly, that's going to be 5. So what this means really is, at how many classes would I take to make it break even? I am completely indifferent as to whether I am a member or whether I just pay the higher rate per classes without paying that $10. So my break even rate, again on my x-axis, is my number of classes. So the lines intersect at when x is 5, y is 20. So after 5 classes, both costs are equal. So that is the point of intersection where both of these graphs are equal. I hope that's helpful. Most of the word problems are something like that. Let's do problem number 3. and see if we can come up with that solution. Again, this goes exactly in the same order that we learned them today. I'm going to have one solution, I'm going to have no solutions, and I'm going to have many solutions on this last one. Let's see if that rings true. So systems with no solutions solved by graphing. I don't even have to really do much more to this. So y equals 3x plus 2. The slope is 2. The slope is 3. The y-intercept is 2. My second equation, the slope is 3. The y-intercept is now negative 2. So when we start to graph, we go through our procedure. Start with 1. Y-intercept is positive 2 right here. The slope is 3. This time I am now, I'm going up by 2 each time. So it looks like I'm going to run out of space really quickly. So I'm going to actually go down 3 and over 3. The slope is positive. So I go down 2, and then right about here I'm going to have a 1. But I go over positive 1 because I know my line is positive. So I'm going to just leave it at that because I know how this one's going to work out. If I would like to, I can go ahead and take my straight edge, make my first line. The slope and the y-intercept is this. Now for my second, the slope is also 3. The y-intercept is negative 2. So the negative intercept is right here. And I don't even have to do the extra work because I know if I followed that point, I would be going up 3 and over 1. The lines are completely and perfectly parallel. Therefore, I have no solutions. The lines are, and again, answer parallel. There is no solution. They never, ever, ever intersect. And the final one is 2 lines, and I can't really tell right off the bat whether or not that's the same line. All I know is I can't do anything with this first one until I put it in the y equals mx plus b form. Remember that? Y equals mx plus b form. So let's say I need to move this 3x over. So I'm left with 4y equals 12 minus 3x. I need to divide both sides by 4, divide both sides by 4, divide both sides by 4. And surely I get y equals 3 plus a negative 3/4 x, or negative 3/4 x. Let me write that down here so it's a little cleaner. It doesn't matter where the 3 is, it's still the intercept. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. Therefore, this line and that line are the same line. So if they're the same line, I'm going to have infinitely many solutions. The y-intercept is 3 in this particular case, and the slope is negative 3/4. So let's go ahead and graph it. If the y-intercept is 3, I'm going up by 2, so it's going to be right here in between 2 and 4. The slope is now negative 3/4. So I am going to go, know that it's going to be pointing downwards no matter what happens as opposed to upwards. So I'm going to go down 3, so that's down 1, 2, 3. And I'm going over 4, but remember I'm going in this direction. So that's 2, 4. So that's plenty of points to make my line. I can go ahead and make my line this direction. It's negative. And again, it's the same line. It doesn't matter what I put in for x. I could put in x for either line, and I am going to have infinitely many solutions. So finish this up, do a great job, and we'll get to start working on the stock market today.